Hey guys, how are you today? And welcome to my preview of the 2017 Austrian Grand Prix. First of all, sorry that I've uploaded this a day later than normal, but I've got a good excuse. I wanted to make sure I did it after the FIA meeting about Sebastian Vettel's incident in Baku, in case he got banned for Austria, which obviously changed my prediction. But as it turned out, no further action against him, so he'll take part in these predictions. And now let's preview the Austrian Grand Prix for 2017. So looking back at the 2016 Austrian Grand Prix, of course there's a big battle between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Big battle in the final lap. Hamilton overtook him on the last lap of the race, and it led to Rosberg slipping down all the way to 4th place. Because of front wing damage, Rosberg sort of pushed him off the circuit, and that led to front wing damage, and Rosberg slipped down to 4th place. But it didn't matter in the end because Rosberg won the World Championship a few months later. So, and of course, the Red Bull ring, as it's called in Austria, is a power circuit, so maybe that's going to be an advantage to Mercedes this year. It's hard to tell. And as for stuff this year, it's the softest tyre combination, so ultra soft, super soft and soft tyres. And there's also the chance of rain on Sunday for race day. And as we know, that always spices things up, it never fails. So now let's make some predictions for each driver and team for the 2017 Austrian Grand Prix. So, Mercedes. So, as for Lewis Hamilton, he'll want some karma after Baku. A bit unlucky, considering Vettel got a penalty and Hamilton still ended up behind him because of the headrest coming loose. So, Hamilton will be fired up this weekend, in my opinion. He'll want to win and be on pole as well. I think he's going to really focus this weekend. And to be honest, I think he is going to win this Grand Prix. Tell me in the comments if you agree. Valtteri Bottas, he had a very strong performance in Baku. He came from a lap down after a puncture on lap 1 to 2nd place, albeit just at the end. And so yeah, he will be full of confidence. And he also tends to do well at the Red Bull ring. You've got to remember his front row in the Williams in 2014. That was pretty impressive. But I think if he doesn't want to have to become the second driver in the team, if he wants to win this championship, he better start winning races, Bottas. I know he has won a race this year, but he has to win more, and Austria would be a good chance to do it. Ferrari, so Sebastian Vettel, as I said, there's no more punishment after Baku, so of course he had a 10-second stop-go penalty, and also he had points on his racing license, which also means he has to be on best behaviour this time, otherwise he risks a race ban at Silverstone in the following Grand Prix. But Vettel will want to win back many fans. I think he lost a lot of respect amongst F1 fans after his incident there in Baku, in Azerbaijan, and he'll want to win back many fans, and I guess a win would be the best way for him to do it, and certainly clean racing and no swearing at the stewards or whatever. He needs to be the popular Sebastian Vettel this weekend. Raikkonen, he also has a point to prove. He's been struggling a lot this season. People said he would do well this season because the car is more like how it was when he won his championship and when he was really good back in 2005. Yeah, with much more downforce as well. But it hasn't really worked out, to be honest. And it looks like he's a clear number 2 driver. But he has to start performing and not be beaten by the Red Bulls and stuff, because obviously Ferrari wants him to do well because they want to win the constructors. And if he doesn't start performing, he risks losing the seat next season. Someone like Grosjean or Giovinazzi or who knows who else. And I think he has to really prove a point. And he will still have to win 1 or 2 races this year, I think, if he's going to stay at Ferrari next season. And Austria, it could be a chance to do it. You know, there's every chance for Ferrari. I think Mercedes are going to have an advantage. But if Kimi can, I think Ferrari would be happy for Kimi to come second to Sebastian Vettel. That would be their dream result. And Kimi Raikkonen, we know he has the skill, but does he have the confidence and to do it now? That's the real question. Red Bull, and of course this is their home race, the Red Bull ring in Austria. They're an Austrian team. This is their home race, but I think they're going to struggle this weekend because of their lack of engine power, which we know is the main issue for Red Bull these days, as it has been for the last few seasons, and we know this is a real high-speed, high-powered track. But on the other hand, Ricciardo will be confident because of his victory in the last race, and that's also a power circuit. Look at that long straight in Azerbaijan. There's 2 really long straights, and Red Bull still won the race. So maybe they will do well this weekend. It's pretty hard to tell, to be honest. But I think they're going to struggle a bit this weekend, because there's also some twisty bits in Azerbaijan, and there's not so much that in Austria. So I think they will fall behind Mercedes and Ferrari again this weekend. As for Verstappen, his main issue or gremlin this year has been reliability. A DNF in 4 of the last 6 races, as we know. Pretty poor stuff. And ultimately Red Bull want to keep him, because we know he is a world champion of the future. I think that's almost a certainty now. Verstappen will be world champion one day. Not this year, but one day. And he needs more reliability if he's going to be able to challenge his teammate and the Ferraris this weekend, and in general if he's going to stay at the team, because if not he could end up moving to Renault or McLaren or Mercedes or Ferrari, and obviously that would be awful for Red Bull. So they need to sort out his car ASAP. Force India, and this is where a battle is really heating up between Perez and Ocon. Of course, after the last race, Perez didn't get any points. He will want points in this race, and he also has to cement his position in the team, because Ocon is starting to challenge him. You know, Ocon's a rookie in the team, a new boy in the team, and you know he's really challenging Sergio Perez now for the number 1 spot in Force India. And they've had a couple of on-track incidents, especially in Azerbaijan, and also in Canada, and they have to really do something here if they're going to be winning any points against Williams, and they have to make sure they don't crash again. And that's where Perez will have to cement his position and try to beat Ocon. While I think Ocon has been recently a real star driver at Force India, and they'll be hoping to keep this work up in this round in Austria. You know, Ocon, I think he's also a star of the future and could end up at a big team very soon. As for Williams, well, Massa was unlucky in Baku, as we know. He had his issues there, and it wasn't always really his fault and everything. He had a bit of a tough time, but he did nearly win that race, so he's clearly still got his skill. And he also tends to do well at Austria. He got a pole position here in 2014 in that Williams. He beat that dominant Mercedes that Hamilton and Rosberg was driving in 2014 over 1 lap. He didn't win that race. In the end, Mercedes came through, but Massa did well in that qualifying session. And I think Massa may do quite well this weekend. I don't think he's going to be on the podium, and they won't challenge for the win. But I think he might be able to challenge the Force Indias quite well this weekend. And he'll want to come back and make sure Stroll doesn't challenge his position in the team. Talking of Lance Stroll, of course he did have a great, but ultimately pretty lucky result in Baku. And he got points in Canada as well. That was more skill, because of course in Baku there's lots of retirements and crashes, which is why Stroll got up the field. But in Canada, Stroll got points based on skill, and he'll be hoping to do the same thing here in Austria. But I think it's going to be a very competitive field, and I don't know if he's going to be in the points this weekend. Haas, of course, Grosjean does seem to be really struggling at the moment with his brakes, and there's a lot of pressure on the brakes in Austria, lots of coming to a stop, turn 1 for example, and you'll need the confidence there under braking. Lots of cars looking up there over the years, and Grosjean may struggle with that this weekend. We have to see if they'll fix his brakes on the car. While Magnussen had a very good result in Baku, being in the points, but his form throughout his career has been very up and down, and he may struggle this weekend, you can't really tell. But he needs to get some good momentum going if he's going to keep the seat or go to a better team in 2018. Toro Rosso, and well, Sainz did well in the end in Baku, he got some points, but ultimately he had a spin turn 1, lap 1, and I still think he's underperforming the season. The pressure's really getting to him, and if he wants a better seat next year, he's gonna have to start performing, because at the moment he risks, I don't think he's gonna get a Red Bull seat next year, because they're happy with Ricciardo and Verstappen, providing none of those drivers leave the team. So if Sainz is not going to come under pressure from maybe people like Kubica, who might come back into the sport next year, or Giovinazzi or anyone like that, or Gasly, Sainz has to start performing, and Austria would be a good chance. He needs to now be in the points consistently and in the top 10 in qualifying consistently in ideal world. Kvyat though, I still think he is really struggling. I don't see where his career is going to go from now. I don't think he'll go forward anyway. He might end up in the back market team like Sauber next season. but he might be able to prove us wrong in Austria, and he'll be hoping to do that. Renault, of course, Hulkenberg, yes, he did crash in Baku, but in general he's having a good season. He was doing well in Baku before he crashed, and he'll be hoping for some more points to really cement his position within the Renault team for next season as well. And maybe Renault will be a stronger force next season, you can't tell. They've improved quite a bit this season overall, and maybe Hulkenberg will be able to challenge a podium next season. But for now he has to keep performing in Austria, keep the hard work going, and see what he can do. As for Palmer, he needs some more luck and has to perform more. In Austria, we have to ask whether it will turn around. And a bit like Sainz or Kvyat, he's also at risk of losing the seat to somebody like Robert Kubica or Sergei Sorokin. And Palmer, he really has to do something good here. Yes, he did have some bad luck in Azerbaijan and in other races, but in general, he's just been slow. I don't know why, but there must be a reason apart from the money wise in Formula 1. He always did well in GP2. He has to bring that into Formula 1. And Austria, he'll hope there's a chance for him to maybe challenge for points, but to be honest guys, I don't see it happening, and I don't see much of a future for Palmer in F1. I hope I'm wrong because he's a British driver and I like that. Sauber, well, Pascal Wehrlein did get points in the manner in the Austrian Grand Prix for 2016, although we know it was a bit of a rocket ship in a straight line. But he also got points in Baku for Sauber, so anything is possible in F1, and especially with the rain coming, Wehrlein may be able to challenge for points again this time around. But if it turns out to be a dry race, I think Sauber are going to struggle this weekend. That's my honest opinion. And I think same story for Everson, to be honest. He will want to perform this weekend, but yeah, I think they're going to struggle this weekend, sadly. And I can't, unless it's a crazy race again, I can't see them getting points. McLaren, of course, they have got a new engine upgrade this weekend, but based on how it's been in the last few years, I don't think it's going to help them. I don't think they'll go any further forward. And Alonso, he did get points in Baku, but I don't think this race will be as crazy with so many people crashing and all that, and so many safety cars. I think there'll be a maximum of one safety car. But yeah, so I don't think Alonso is going to get anywhere this weekend. I don't think he'll be in the points. I hope they finish like last time when both cars finished, but I don't think they're going to score points. While Van Dorn needs to prove himself at McLaren, the best way to do that is beating Alonso, of course. And he also risks losing the seat. I don't know who would take the seat. I don't know if Button would come back next year. But he really does risk losing the seat, and he has to perform. So, and of course, the main talking point this weekend will be what happened in Baku between Hamilton and Vettel, and any tension. Will they have another incident, or will there be some different parts of the track because Hamilton or Vettel will dominate? Tell me in the comments what you think about that. But now, it's time for my poll and top 10 prediction for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. So as I said, pole position, I reckon will go to Lewis Hamilton. And I think this is going to be the type of weekend where he dominates, and I think he'll go on to win the race quite easily. Then again, when I've said that in the past, that tends not to happen, so we'll wait and see. Second place with Bottas, I think it's going to be a Mercedes 1-2. I think they're going to dominate this weekend. While I think Vettel will come third, I think he will win back some respect this weekend and win back some fans, and hopefully we can all move on from what happened in Baku, because social media has been going crazy, to be honest. P4, Daniel Ricciardo. I think he will be able to beat Raikkonen. I think both Red Bulls will beat Raikkonen this weekend. But I don't think Red Bull will be able to challenge for a podium unless some of the big guys go out of this race. Fifth place with Verstappen. I'm predicting him to finish this race, but not in a particularly amazing position. I hope it goes well for him. But I don't think he's going to get higher than fifth. I think Ricciardo will be able to beat him. I think Verstappen just won't be confident in his car after all the stuff that's been going on. Sixth place, I'm going to put Kimi Raikkonen. I think he's going to have another difficult race, and I can't see him getting higher than P6. P7, Massa. I think he'll have another strong weekend, get some good points on the board for Williams' team. He's strong at this track, so Massa 7th. Ocon 8th. I think he'll beat Perez this time. I really hope they don't crash for the team. But yeah, I think Ocon's going to beat Perez, so Ocon 8th, Perez 9th. And I'm going to put Nico Hulkenberg in the Renault to come in P10. So yes, guys, that's the end of the video. Quick question for you to answer in the comments. How do you think Van Dorn has been doing this season? Do you think he's under threat for next season? and the McLaren team. So yeah, tell me in the comments, and I'll see you guys after the race for my review. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this and other types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you have anything to say in the comments, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Also, go and check out the video that should be on screen right now, and come and follow me on Twitter, BigGaming342, and Facebook, BigGaming342, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.